Ladies and gentlemen of Lyme Regis, I am Lieutenant Colonel Retired Stephen E. Clay, President of the 16th Infantry Regiment Association. Greetings to you from our over 400 members of the association and our over 1,600 soldiers of our 2 active battalions. First off, let me tell you how much we appreciate your efforts to remember the sacrifices of our soldiers who lived there with you in Lyme Regis for 6 months before departing for Omaha Beach on 6 June 1944. We realize that Operation Overlord was the combined effort of a great alliance of soldiers, sailors, and airmen of our 2 nations, as well as many others who helped begin the direct liberation of Europe that day. As our plaque that we recently provided you to both remember this day as well as that special U.S.-British relationship, a superb example of that great alliance was truly manifest between the people of Lyme Regis and the soldiers of the 16th Infantry Regiment. Today we commemorate those of our comrades in arms who created a legacy of courage and honor on this day 70 years ago. Some of you know the story of our regiment, how it fought through the major battles of the Civil War, how it conducted occupation duties at the Confederate capital of Richmond after the war. It served on the western frontier with the Sioux, against the Sioux, the Ute, and Apache Indians. It charged up San Juan Hill in Cuba and participated in the battles of Ansavie, Soissons, Cantigny, Saint-Mihiel, and the Meuse-Argonne campaign in World War I. Before landing on Omaha Beach, the regiment had participated in 2 previous assault landings at Arzew in North Africa and at Gela in Sicily. The 16th Infantry Regiment's D-Day mission was, and I quote, "to assault Omaha Beach and reduce the beach defenses in its zone of action, proceed with all possible speed to the D-Day phase line, and seize and secure it 2 hours before dark on D-Day." That assault on Fortress Europe began in the early hours of 6 June 1944 as the 16th Infantry Regiment moved toward Omaha Beach. About 600 yards offshore, the regiment's landing craft began to encounter intense artillery, anti-tank, and small arms fire. As the 2nd and 3rd Battalions approached the beach, it became readily apparent that many of the enemy's strong points had not been eliminated by the pre-invasion bombardment. Many landing craft and men were hit as they plowed through the heavy seas toward shore. As the landing craft dropped their ramps, men were killed and wounded as they attempted to get out of the boats. Others were hit as they struggled through the surf, or crossing the beach weighted down with waterlogged equipment. The survivors of the first wave slowly built up a firing line along a low pile of shale. As the 1st Battalion and other units arrived, they found the now disorganized lead troops pinned down and congested. Still, here and there, men attempted to move forward. Many were shot down, but others made it to the base of the bluff, where they found the area mined and crisscrossed with concertina wire. Small bodies of troops made efforts to get through the enemy defenses. Eventually, an assault section from E Company under Lieutenant John Spaulding and Staff Sergeant Philip Stresick, and another from G Company under Captain Joe Dawson, managed to cross the minefields and breach the wire and struggle up onto the bluff. Colonel George Taylor, the regimental commander, noting the breakthrough, stood to his feet and yelled to his troops, "The only men who will remain on this beach are the dead and those who are about to die, so let's get moving." Soon other troops began making their way up onto the bluffs. By vicious fighting, some of it hand-to-hand, other assault teams made it to the top and began pushing to Colleville-sur-Mer. By noon, the 16th Infantry had broken through the beach defenses and established a foothold that allowed follow-on units to land and move through. The evening of D-Day found all of the units of the regiment ashore, but some were combat ineffective due to heavy casualties. A few weeks later, at an award ceremony on 2 July 1944, General Dwight D. Eisenhower, referring to their D-Day exploits, told the members of the regiment, "You are the finest regiment in our Army. I know your record from the day you landed in North Africa and through Sicily. I'm beginning to think that your regiment is a sort of Praetorian Guard, which goes along with me and gives me luck. The cost of D-Day was heavy. Of the 3,660 men in the regiment who landed that morning, 223 of them were killed in action, mortally wounded, or were missing in action by sundown. Another 750 were wounded for a total of 973 casualties, or about 1 in every 4 men. 2 men, First Lieutenant Jimmy Monteith and Technician 5th Grade John J. Pender, were later awarded the Medal of Honor, both posthumously. At least 52 men were awarded the Distinguished Service Cross, America's second highest decoration for valor. The entire regiment was awarded the Presidential Unit Citation. It was also awarded its 3rd award of the French Croix de Guerre with Palm, which itself would contribute to the French government later awarding the regiment the Médaille Militaire, making the 16th Infantry only one of 4 U.S. regiments to hold that honor. The regiment and its sons paid a high price that day, but the payoff was the ultimate liberation of Europe from Nazi tyranny. Therefore, let us, as beneficiaries of their efforts, remember the sacrifices and honors not only of those men who added such an illustrious page to our regimental history, but to all of the military personnel from Great Britain, Canada, the United States, and other nations who made the defeat of Nazi tyranny possible. Once again, on behalf of the soldiers of the 16th Infantry Regiment, past and present, thank you for your remembrances today.